Probably never hit play.
What the heck? So which one?
Yeah, like I said, it's up to God. I was trying to give a person a mindset to actually come to repent. You know, like it says, He gives the increase. It says to the acknowledgement of the truth, and that they may recover themselves out of the snares of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. So a lot of these people, they ain't captured by the snares of the devil. Basically, like I made a video a long time ago, Satan got a lot of these people in the headlock, so they can't see the truth, they can't believe it because they controlled by the spiritual demon Satan, you know, so that's why they walk past and they scoff and mock, and some people fall out of the truth because they got enchanted to go back into the world. Beautiful. Enchanted to go back to the world. That's where they start. The Lord has created them. They're playing their part.
This is Sirach chapter 31, verse 2. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men.
Again, those renowned men are talking about the prophet Muhammad. Again, not to think about
And where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
right. Those parables and dark sayings, riddles, that your house
St. Matthew chapter 13, verse 10. It says, and the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
right.
But to them it is not given.
Right. So we're holding on to those sound doctrines, holding fast to what we learned, you know, and actually putting it out there for the elect to be able to hear. Okay, but we spoke in parables because it wasn't for everybody else. Just like when you read in Romans 11, I believe it's 11:7, where the elect are retained and just for black. You know, this is for the elect to hear. This is for the elect. This is the message that they're going to understand because the Spirit is working with them. The Spirit isn't working with everybody of Israel. That's why it says you're of Israel. Not everybody of Israel is of Israel. That's why it says that. Because there's some people that's going to be 2/3 and not going to be saved. It's a remnant. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah. This is Romans chapter 11, verse 7. What then? Israel has not attained that which he seeketh for. The election hath obtained it, and the rest were blind.
Even simple. The ones that were blinded, which is sure Israel, out there everything they've been in the world. You know? Luke chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 34, because as the scriptures say, you know, Yahweh was for the rise and the falling of many of Israel. It says, and Simeon blessed them and said unto Mary, his mother, behold, this child is set for the fall and the rising again of many in Israel. So a lot of people are going to be stumbling, you know, even among the nation of Israel. It says, and for a sign which will be spoken against. Yeah, a sword shall pierce through thy own soul also, that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. And like the scripture say, Hebrews 4:12, the word of the Lord is sharper than any two-edged sword. So it basically revealed the hearts, you know, the thoughts of many. And that's why we see that a lot of people don't truly believe in what they preach, you know. They lose patience, and then they, like I said before, go back into the world. They don't have the discipline to continue and what the scriptures command us to do, you know. So they get cut, you know, and that's part of that spiritual sword. Again, brother mentioned discipline. That's what you need it right now. This ultimate battle is going to be the spirit versus the flesh. You know, your Goliath is going to be your flesh. You have to check that out because you have to be able to please enough to a certain extent.
You want me to jump in?
But then again, you also want to force it to not fall back to the world. The only reason why you have to be able to please your flesh to a certain extent is because you have to operate. Okay, if you don't take care of yourself physically, then what are you going to do? Now you can't be out there to do the work of the Lord. But more so than not, you want to be able to go on spiritual
Second Timothy chapter 1, verse 13. Hold fast the form of sound words, which thou hast heard of me, in faith and love which is in the Mashiach Yahushua.
Right. It's also talking, it's like when it says, hold fast to what thou hast, and let no man take thy crown. You know, we're fighting for salvation. We're fighting to be delivered, you know? So if you have those, don't let nobody take that away. Don't let the world take it away. Don't let anything take it away. Because there's going to be temptations that's going to be given in the world that's going to try to knock you off your path. You got to be able to avoid those things through the spirit that's coming from Yahweh Shah. But that's the only thing that's going to keep you going. That's the only thing that's going to keep you flowing in the spirit. Okay?
1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 15. Meditate upon these things.
Meditate again.
Give thyself wholly to them.
Wholly to them. That means you're fully dedicated to the scriptures. Not casual, a casual reader and being lukewarm. But then you're going to realize you don't understand the things that you should.
That thy profiting may appear to all.
Shema means listen to the things. That's what it means to your prospering. Okay? When you actually not just listen, but actually read and obey and put into action. Now you can walk on his word. Okay? But if you're listening to now what? That's not truly listening to the Lord. That's not true obedience. That's just being casual.
Verse 16. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them. For in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
Taking heed into yourself, that's re-examination. Something you should do daily, every single day. What fits? Is this what's going on in my life, and is it benefiting my walk in this truth? Okay? If it doesn't benefit you, take it out. You know? It's just that simple. Or even if it comes to a point where it's something that you may enjoy, a lesson. So it's not getting you out. Okay? But at the end of the day, you have to re-examine those things that within you that's keeping you from growing, that's keeping you from following the doctrine. Okay? Just by continuing in this doctrine, that's what you're supposed to do. And the way that you continue, by examining yourself again, by reading through the scriptures. And if you truly understand the doctrine that's being given to you, you're going to take the information to be able to re-examine yourself, whether it be from the brother, whether it be from the scriptures, whether it be from the real needs. You're going to get your needs one way or another. That's why discernment is important. You don't have to discern, you have to know when the Spirit is trying to speak to you. The Word of God is trying to tell you something.
Jumping on Sirach 18. It's Sirach chapter 18, verse 20. It says, before judgment, examine thyself. Sirach 18, verse 20. Before judgment, examine thyself.
Because every man is going to be tried by every man is going to be judged by their works. Okay? So before that judgment comes, you want to examine yourself, examine your works. Am I doing what's pleasant in the eyes of Yahweh Shai? Because when that judgment comes, you don't want to be on the side of destruction. You want to be on the side of deliverance. Right?
It says, and in the day of visitation thou shalt find mercy.
And that mercy is going to be delivered to the way of chariots. You're going to be looking down at the destruction coming up, having our promises. In fact, having those promises being fulfilled. You know? It's not over right there though. But being delivered from those missiles coming down, you don't want to be a part of that.
Another one in verse 24.
The 24.
The Sirach 18 and 24 says, think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, and the time of vengeance when he shall turn away his face.
And when you think about the time that's going to happen at the end, that should be able to put fear in you if you're truly a believer of the Lord. Because if you believe these words that are being said, that's going to instill fear in you, and you'll be like, you know what, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want that to happen to me. So that's why whatever you do, you want to do it with fear. Do it like you're scared. And I don't mean like timid scared to the point how you're paralyzed and you can't do nothing about it. That's the definition of fear. But when you do something with fear, let's say for example, I don't want to get beaten by my pops. If I go do something wrong, well then we're not going to do those things anymore. You don't want to get the belt to the butt. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to do what's required to make sure the Lord ain't going up your ass. It's plain and simple right there. Okay?
This is Sirach, chapter 39, verse 3. He will seek out the secrets of grave sinners and be conversant in dark parables.
Right, those grave sins, man. The heavy judgment is going to come on this place, man. Again, these dark parables, it's only the going to the dark sins, the riddles, that only if you got the Holy Spirit and you will understand what it's saying. They're writing the Bible word. Okay? But a lot of people are going to read this and not understand that that's how they come up with their own. That's how they come up. They're stumbling on it. It's not making you understand.
Destination Archive.
This is Sirach, chapter 6, verse 35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
Right. When godly discourse, okay? When people are letting you know, okay, look, I understand you come from a certain walk of life, and here's how you do it. But now you want to come to a point where it's like, okay, you don't want to look like the same person that you were at when you were on the board. And you were born as a new man when it comes to the scriptures, when it comes to the truth. Okay? So when you're actually walking in the scriptures,
part of life and they come and let you know certain things, don't be that person that's going to buck up and get mad. You can go feel emotional, but make sure that emotion is put towards the right thing. Put that anger or whatever it is that you've been lied to towards actually learning the truth and actually living by it. Okay? So when it comes to actually being around those things, it actually is a good thing. It's like Sirach 8 and 8 talks about. When it talks about being around wise men,
This is Sirach chapter 6, verse 36. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. This is Sirach chapter 6, verse 36. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him.
it's like you come out here, right? And you walk the path, you see us, on the highway, you know everything that's going on. Those people that stop by and listen, and the next thing you know, you in the camp. The next thing you know, you're out there teaching. You might not know that I was going to have it, but that's what it looks like when you're actually getting under men of understanding. Okay? When you look at the apostles, when you look at the Sharding, when you look at the Malchus, the Rahashim, all them, you're getting under them and actually learning from them. Okay?
This is Sirach 8, verse 8. It says, despise not the discourse of the wise.
Yeah, despise not the discourse of the wise. Because those wise men are going to help you grow. But you're going to despise it. You're not going to like what they're trying to tell you. But then you're not going to be able to grow it. Okay?
But acquaint thyself with their proverbs.
The same thing that was saying the Shard got over here. In Sirach 6.
For of them thou shalt learn instruction and how to serve great men with ease.
Right, it teaches you your conduct. Right? You learn instruction, you learn how to serve. You learn how to be a brother to the brotherhood. That goes to charity. Okay? You learn how to serve one another. You ultimately learn how to serve, how shot. Okay?
It says, miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need requires.
So it goes all the way back to how I started it off when I read Sirach 39 at the top. When you're getting acquainted with these men, when you're occupied in prophecies, now you're able to understand the fact that when the MOTB comes out, that's going to be something you can avoid. We can understand that when digital currencies and all those things come out, the infrastructure of the MOTB, you're able to use that. Just don't take the mark. It may come times with cryptocurrency and digital currencies, real ID when it comes talking about digital passports and things like that. You may have to use those things if they're going to sell it as convenience, okay? But the mark isn't going to just come as the mark itself first. The infrastructure needs to be set up first. And we've been telling y'all, and you can see the pieces coming together. Again, I talked about the real ID, the cryptocurrencies coming from the CBDC, the AI algorithm when it comes down to surveillance and monitoring. They have to, and they even got AI monitoring your messages even with social media. Not just that they're on there to ask, now they read everything. They see what you're doing. This is out of protection and safety reasons. No, they want control. And we're letting you know these things before they even happen. Okay? That's the importance of being occupied in prophecy. You can see these happening in real time. Alright? So when it comes down to understanding MOTB structure, now they control buying and selling. Now they control travel. Now they control your medical stuff. Now they control your identity and things like that too. To a point where now they're trying to hack you. That's the whole point of when it comes to bio things being mixed up with technology. Okay? To make hackable use, so to speak. They already tried to do those things in psychology, but it wasn't enough. Because some people can always break off when it comes down to strong willpower. Or spirit of all about some other shots. And now we got to put something in them to make sure that we can control mirror and things like that too. Okay? They're going to tell us what? Again, the biggest fact, information. It goes back to all the systematics. Because that you can see what's good for you or what's bad for you. Okay?
Revelation 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
And you know that causeth all, it's more like coercion. Okay? You're going to take away all your senses of life and control it. And the way they do that is by labeling it scarce. Now, if it's scarce, now it needs to be managed. Who else is going to manage it? People that's managing the place. So now the government is managing those things, all your essentials, you can't do anything about it, right? And so now they make you feel like 2020 was a perfect example of that. You need this to eat, you need this to go drink, you need this to work, you need this to participate in society. Okay, you're going to need all those things. But we just think that by the because there's something called gradualism. Okay? Now gradualism isn't something that happens like a big step or a revolution is something that changes over time. Meaning it's going to take time to get to that point. So one analogy that I heard that I like to use is the frog boiling in the water. Let's take that analogy. If you boil the water and you toss the frog into the water, it's going to jump right out and not understand what's going on. But if you let it boil slowly, it stays and it dies. That's the same way you boil society. They don't know they're living in hot water until it's too late. It's the same thing when you work back gradually. They start doing slowly but surely and you recognize it when it's too late. So that's why you have prophets out there to let you know what's going on now. So you don't fall for that gradualism tactic. So you don't fall for that gradual raise. You don't be that frog that's just going to stay in the water and don't realize it's boiling and now you shit out of luck. You don't want to be that person. That's the example they use. And just to prove that point, you're trying to take away faith. Now I say that, people laugh, they're like, who do you use faith anyway? Well, that's the trick right there. They don't want you to think that it has any value, so they strip away the things that you think has any value, no matter how small it is. To a point now, it's pennies, then it gets to nickels, then dimes, then quarters. I mean, the dollar already doesn't mean much. They're already trying to get to a point where they gradually can transition over to the digital system. That's the whole point of it. So it's going to get to the point where they can't buy or sell or do anything like that unless you participate in the system. And a lot of people don't even know that it's happening right now. Because they don't hearken, they don't listen. But those who have ears to hear, they're going to be the people that's listening and shaping their conduct so the Lord can keep them from the hour of temptation.
Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Keep going. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And this number is 600, 4, and 6.
So 17. So 17. That's the point I want to get to. You got me 17?
This is Revelation 13, verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell.
You hear that? No man may buy or sell unless you have that mark.
Save he that had the mark.
What's going to be injected through a syringe under this shit.
It says, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Mark chapter 6, verse 37. Let thy mind be upon the order
Where'd you buy that? Yeah, bro.
I think I found it like a TJ Maxx or like a Ross
Okay.
a long time ago.
Oh man, it's gonna be hard trying to find it.
I'm always in there though. If I see something similar, I got you though.
Oh, the water.
Meditate continually in this manner. When you don't do these things, you just find other false ways. He's warning you about it. He shall establish that mark, give thee wisdom that thine own. All this out here, and it's going to be what? What is it saying out there? 33 and 6. These last days, these are things that are going to come. So wisdom is above all else.
It's like it's not that way we can know how to conduct ourselves. You never know. But the whole point is pray to the Lord.
Proverbs 22, verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself.
A prudent man foreseeth the evil. A wise man uses that wisdom that's obtained to be able to avoid the evil times that's coming. One evil time, the bad time, the evil is the bad time. And when that part comes, your bad time comes. It's going to be, we're going to be put in dire straits to test your sincerity to see, okay, look, do you really believe? You know, you're going to be in situations where you might not be able to eat for a couple of days. Well, that's why fasting is so important. You learn that through the scriptures. Intermittent fasting, you can start something, you know? But when you learn these things, you see it before it happens, which is the whole point of being a prophet. Now you can avoid those things, okay?
It says, but the simple pass on and are punished.
Right. Just like he brought out in his previous precept, when people don't understand or don't have this wisdom, now they're going to fall prey to all the warnings that were given them. Okay? Because they don't hearken, they don't listen. And the Spirit is ultimately upon them to be able to walk that path. Okay?
It's Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. The heading here that says what? Doom to the worshippers of the beast. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Lord, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Straight shot hits a lot harder when you mix it up. You know? If anybody knows about when it comes down to the hard to it's going to hit a lot harder. Okay? But when you read these words, it goes back to that fear. It comes down to conducting yourself with fear, doing things with fear. Why? Because I'm afraid of what the hell about contract said he's going to do to those who don't fear, who actually achieve this mark. And those who actually market into who actually do fear where the Spirit's going are going to be those who actually listen to those words and say, you know what?
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 11. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. We are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest in your conscience.
We know the terror of the Lord because we actually believe the words that He said. That's why we provoke one another into good works. You know, when we come out here and I'm preaching this message, that message is to me too. It's not just the fact that I'm preaching to everybody else because I'm just better than everybody. You know, it works that way. If anything, I'm judged that much more because I'm out there proclaiming the no and proclaiming myself to be a good prophet of Yahweh as a representative. So imagine me not following and pointing fingers with a dirty hand. I'm going to be destroyed. It's going to be better off if I just know the word at all. You know? I'm going to get it much worse than the people that think, you know? So,
2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 11. Knowing therefore the terror of the Most High, we persuade men. For we are made manifest unto you, and I trust also are made manifest in your conscience.
This is Daniel 12, verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Daniel 12, verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand.
the Lord is working with the weak, the humble, the lowly. That's how we're able to come out here to claim His message. You know, because we truly believe through faith that the Lord is working through us. Not being wise, but we're going to come out with understanding. Okay? But first, we had to be made wise. We had to purify ourselves. And we're in the process of still doing those things right now. That's why we're being tried. That's why we have these things going on right now. Where right now, we are in the furnace. And it's only going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. That's why more people are falling out day and night. Because they can't handle the heat. They can't take the heat that's inside the furnace. Matter of fact, you get But at the end of the day, man, you got to use that wisdom to be able to get yourself out of the trouble that's going to be coming to you. Okay? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's for. What's the point of having knowledge if you ain't going to use it? You just obtain it, but what you doing with it? Okay?
Sirach 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
So that's already letting you know you're going to be in the battle. It's already letting you know the temptation is going to come your way. It didn't say it might come your way. It says when you come to serve me, expect these things to come. So you already want your mind to already be fortified to know that trouble is coming. And I got to keep reading to make sure that I'm well equipped for these troubles that are coming.
Yeah, the biggest confusion, or you could even say misconception, is battling that feeling that you have when you first hear the truth. Because it feels good. Like you learn you're an Israelite, you're like, oh, shoot, really? I've always thought and I've always wondered. And then you learn your tribe in the spirit, you learn the name of the Most High and His Son, and it feels good. And because that knowledge feels good, you think that more good things should start happening to you. Like, oh, okay, well now that I have this knowledge and I feel great, I should get a better job, things should start pulling right, people should start loving me, and you give this more positive person, but you gotta balance out that feeling with what the scriptures say is going to actually happen to you when you take part in the ministry. It talks about how this is a book filled with lamentations and mournings and woe. So first, you heard the ministry and it felt good, that's the honey. But then, after a while, it starts to turn bitter. And that's what the brothers go into right now. It's not just all, yay, let your hair down, relax, good times. We got some bad times coming ahead. there's some bad, some troublesome times coming in. The prophets are going to warn you of those things so that you can be prepared. That's what it's about. So it's about a mindset. It's about shifting your mindset towards what's going to happen in these end days. That's how you prepare yourself.
Shifting your mindset and then changing your conduct. Get your body to living sacrifice, and actually sacrifice for the truth. You know? And sometimes it doesn't always mean unlawful things. It can be some things that are lawful that you gotta put on. You know? You can do certain things, but it's just like, okay, is that taking away from my time in the family? And I fight for another battle in the mind. You gotta face. You know, I play video games. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you like to waste your time. You know? Don't be over righteous about it, because sometimes you just let your mind get loose. But most of all, you want to be in the spirit, you read, you study, you prepare your mind, like the brother was just saying.
Yeah. It says, verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
Yeah, setting your heart aright, again, it's the same thing that we were saying, preparing your mind and constantly endure, because troubles are going to constantly keep coming. They're going to have some moments where it's like, okay, Lord, you break for this. But most of all, man, we're going to be going through trials, man. We're going to have to deal with those temptations, and those who endure to their end will be saved. But a lot of people don't have that spirit of endurance, you know? So now because you're not focused on endurance, because you're running like it's a sprint, and not acknowledging the fact that it's a marathon, now what? So now you're tired out, but not even halfway through the race, you know? And the damn sure don't want to be tired out right when you're about to reach the finish line. That's the worst feeling.
Yeah. A lot of people training for the wrong thing. Like, this is a whole marathon, and y'all training for a 100-meter dash. Now, you know, you 2 laps in. It's even shorter. You 2 laps in, you like, what the? I didn't know. Then you get people falling out. You know, oh, I can't do it. I thought the Lord was going to come 2-3 years ago. Your mind wasn't right. You weren't preparing yourself for tribulation. You know what? You had the wrong teachers.
Even if you come down to a point where you say, oh, I thought this, I thought that. The Lord is not on your time. You know what I'm saying? It's the point of time when He's waiting for it to happen. Okay? So your job is to just keep going and keep going and keep going. And acknowledge the Son, look for Him diligently. That way you know what's happening. Okay?
Yep. It says, verse 3, cleave unto Him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Right. You definitely want to be increased at that last end. You want the Spirit working with you, especially when Jacob's trouble happens. When martial law happens. When it's a lot of the things in Second Nation, 15 happen. You know, these things, talk about cannibalism and things like that. People not regarding who celebrities are, no judges, princes, officers, nobody's going to matter anymore. Everybody's looking out for their own survival. And you want to be increased to a point where you're not going to be a victim of those things happening. That's how it works. So,
I don't like that.
oh, matter of fact, earlier, out there, you want to be stabilized in those times. Just even if things are happening right now, you want to have a stable mindset to acknowledge what's happening. You don't want to look at the scriptures with a subjective mindset. You want to be objective. Because what the Lord says is what it is. And if you worship it too emotionally, now you're going to, again, preach me smooth and lie to me, preach me deceit.
That's right.
You don't want to be there.
Yeah, because like the brother's going into, a prophet is going to be really direct. He's not going to sugarcoat anything. And I'm saying that because we would be fools if we were sitting up here to tell you, oh yeah, your entire family's going to be saved. It's just not going to go down. Your favorite auntie and uncle, all 12 of your cousins, you know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. So for me to be like, well, you know, it's possible, alright, that nigga's not being realistic. You know what I'm saying? We got to be realistic in this time. But the good part, even then, the good part is that you'll see them again in the kingdom. And they're going to be in their right mind. So it's about, of course, you have to know the word, and you have to be willing to say it without regret. That's the thing. Everything that's coming out of our mouth, that's why we come out here every single Saturday. We know what we're teaching. We know exactly what we're saying. And that's what a prophet's supposed to do. I don't need to be on top of the watchtower and see the enemy. If I see some bushes moving, the hell you think is behind the bushes? You know? The enemy, I gotta blow the horn. But then a lot of people, they wanna wait until the enemy breaches the wall. Like, All right, bro. You done? I'm not even on the tower no more. I'm gone. You know?
Yeah, but if you don't recognize that, you're not going to be able to apply what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time, and strength and salvation. The fear of the Most High is his strength.
Now read that backwards. That all happens starting from the
Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time, and strength and salvation. The fear of the Most High is his strength.
right. So if you read it backwards, it says the fear of the Lord is first. Okay, so when you fear the Lord first, now all those things that it talked about, the wisdom, the knowledge, that will be able to stabilize your mind in those times, those things are happening. That is where you get the strength of salvation, the fear. That's why when I came out here saying, do it with fear, okay? Because when you do it with fear, that's going to take your time.
And like the brother's going into, you know, there will be an increase. As long as you fear the Lord, you have this knowledge and wisdom, and you keep repenting and being sincere and doing what you're supposed to be doing. Remember, even Yahweh Shai prayed. He prayed 3 times. And of course, he had to be strengthened for his hour of temptation. The same exact thing is going to happen for his men. As long as we endure and we wait, this knowledge and wisdom is going to strengthen us. The Lord is going to send out angels to make sure that we're strong in that day. Why do you think the sinners are going to be filled with laughter and joy when others are mourning and they have famine around? We have to be strengthened in that time. You know, a mindset like that. So we're waiting on that, but that strengthening is not going to happen to just any old regular Joe out here. Not a regular person. If you do the work, you do the Lord's will, then Yahweh Shai is going to say, all right, that's my man's right there. Let me make sure he's good. Yeah.
Hey, that's the spirit, man. It's very true. This thing is not really hard. We was talking about that at the pilgrims, you know, the sharp hard, man. He said, this is really not hard at all, man. This is a thing of just repetition. Keep doing it until the very end. You know, because at some point it's going to get, I don't want to say it's going to get easier, because really it's going to get harder, because the burden of teaching, that's going to disappear. The Lord's going to hide the wisdom, the Lord's going to remove his conscience from the feet, and life is going to be about survival and being victim. You know, that's why I see that's really the hard part at the end of the day. That's really the harder part. You know? But what? It's all about the endurance.
This is in Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
It's really just about keeping the faith.
Our coworker Jen told
Last breath with the
BBB that you should reconsider it.
Alright? This is not something where you have to figure out. It's not a thing where you come into the truth and you gotta learn every single breakdown and never forget it. That's how it works. You know? Sometimes you gotta reread Daniel the 2nd chapter, man. You gotta reread your notes and all that. You know? Nah, it's not about that, man. It's about how you got to small about your own track. It's better if the little with righteousness than much with wicked. You know? It's better to be a man of small understanding, of a trap understanding, of what you think, than somebody with such great, vast knowledge, really wicked as hell. You know? One example is Jesus left recently. Got all types of spirits on him. He knew everything. You know? Had 3-hour-long breakdown. We might make a video about this in the next section. That nigga too! That motherfucker, man. Pardon my language. You know, somebody who knew every single breakdown to a T, had 2-hour lessons, you know what I'm saying, at such a young age in the truth. But yeah, his mind wasn't in the right place for it. Now he's like one of those psychics and shit. According to himself. Professor X. I'm talking about Professor X. You already know what I'm talking about? Okay. Yeah, nah, hey, Professor X. Hey, baby. Hey, let's get you know, brother, that brother knew everything.
I just want to go.
Now look.
Apparently.
Apparently. Well, your brother said he had telepathy. I was like, yo,
Right.
you know, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy. Hey, he said he went to Da Vinci. He said
Oh, yeah.
he said he was Da Vinci. What's the other one called? Machiavellian? Yeah, this nigga said he was Machiavellian. You know, and he's they said he said, but hey, point is though, that's where better is someone with smart understanding.
They're not going to do that.
All right, it's better for you to know a little bit. All right. Yeah, I was about to say, let's read that.
It's Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved.
Right, it's about enduring to the end, man. All right, it wasn't about just eating everything you can all at one time. And now look, now you vomited it. Nah, man, it's better for you to grow at your pace. You know? Some bros want to jump in and break down Revelation 18. It's like, yo, brother, you know how to break down the sky yet? You know what I'm saying? You know how to break down the name of the Lord yet? You know that? You know? Do you even know the Hebrew alphabet, brother? You know what I'm saying? Hey, this man was a prime example. You know all those breakdowns, ain't no Abba, Gaja, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Sirach 19, verse 24. He that hath small understanding and feareth God is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High.
That's beautiful. All right, it says, better is a man that has small understanding that fears Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. That's synonymous with faith. When you fear something, it means you believe in it. It means you have faith. So it's better for you to be a person that grows at a decent or slow pace. But your understanding is growing, you know? Hey, y'all, I'll never forget that other one Quran talked about, I think it was King Mashal that said, a brother that can apply one precept, is better than the brother that knows 1,000. You know? Someone that knows one precept and can apply it to real life, it's a bad brother. That's what I remember him quoting. You know? That's very true, man. I mean, to what benefit is the scriptures to you? You cannot apply one precept. What was the whole point of reading? You know? What was the whole point of you learning the breakdowns? You know? Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. And we know this. Brothers up here know this, man. You're not gonna go into Jacob's trouble trying to remember, all right, Revelation 18th chapter. You go into that one verse, and you go into the years. Shalom. You know? You ain't gonna be sitting. It's gonna be Jacob's trouble. You ain't gonna be worried about Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Well, just to a degree. You know?
You're not going to be worried about the laws either. A man should not wear what a woman.
Yeah.
How does that benefit you with a nigga in front of you like this? You know, who's the fucking syringe? Yeah. It doesn't.
This t-shirt should I put on to go to the congregation?
Right. How is that conducive for salvation? That's what the scriptures talk about. Right. There's going to be people out here that don't know a lick about being accepted, but they just believe. Maybe they saw a miracle, they heard the name one time, and the name just sounds good to them. Oh, wow, I just like how it sounds. Who knows? The Lord can save anybody for whatever his own reasoning is. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to do with the law. Nothing to do with Daniel telling no prophecy. It's coming down to belief. Faith. All right, I just believe the Lord is going to save me. That's the understanding of everything right now. Right now, Mark.
This is Sirach chapter 25, verse 10. Oh, how great is he that findeth wisdom, yet is there none above him that feareth the Most High.
Damn.
But the love of the Lord, the Most High, passeth all things for illumination. He that holdeth it, whereto shall he be like?
Yeah. Fire.
Read that 2 more times.
Drop the mic.
This is Sirach chapter 25, verse 10. Oh, how great is he that findeth wisdom, yet is there none above him that feareth the Most High.
Yeah, it says none above him that feareth Yahweh Bashem Yahweh.
Brother, there is none above him that keepeth the law. You know? That's how they interpret these things when they hear it.
Yeah.
No, it said none above him that feareth the Most High. Go ahead, bro.
I mean, no, you're right, brother. Hey, because we're talking about a group of men that a car with gas on the Sabbath. Nigga, you ignited your car. What type of logic is that? You know what I mean? I ain't mean to just, pop off like that. But it's like the logic behind this is just irksome. It makes me just angry. But it's like, yo, you won't pay for gas if you start your car, which is actual fire. So pumping your gas ain't igniting no fire. Oh, but you can't buy nothing on the Sabbath. You can't light a fire either, dumbass. You know what I mean? These men, that's the thing though, on spiritual. These men are carnal.
Salak Yashar. Salak Yashar. That's why wisdom and knowledge is stability of thy time. The fear of the Lord should be thy treasure. Because just bouncing back on that fear, that's what's keeping the elect stable and on a straight and narrow path. Just the fear of the Lord. Not doing anything that's going to just upset him. Doing his will. The water.
That's a good point. That's the thing, man. These men don't understand the will of the Lord. You know, when you go into end time prophecies, I mean, what did the Lord tell you? He said, "Be ye even as pilgrims upon the earth."
Yeah.
You know? He said what? He didn't say nothing about, hey, but you better have your fringes on. You know, everything gotta have fringes on. The Lord didn't say that. That's the thing. These men don't understand the spiritual aspect of the scriptures.
What is that? Revelation 3 through the Dominant?
Yeah.
Let me read that on. You heard it better.
This principle applies also. This is Sirach chapter 25, verse 11. But the love of the Most High passes all things for illumination. He that holdeth it whereto shall he be likened. 12. Fear of the Most High is the beginning of his love, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him.
Yeah, faith is
Yeah, you have a lot of faith, you keep showing up at the door again.
Yep.
Anybody in here, I need some more faith. I got stuff going on, I believe. Let me in. That's why your house shine said that. Try to get in any way, any other way, people are wrong. So if you're not going through your house shine, you're getting your faith really quick. That's why you got like Genesis and 17, reality and all these doctrines being changed up. The Lord setting up stumbling blocks to remove the unfaithful. That's why he said in the scriptures, the unfaithful and the unbelieving won't make it into the kingdom. You can't get to the kingdom. Rejecting the house. Said his sheep, in the same chapter it says his sheep hear his voice. So you can be the sheep, you're just not of the elect herd, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You're not your house of sheep.
very true, man. Hey, that's the thing, man. That's what these other men lack. From Genesis, Safari, IUIC, ISUPK, these are not men of great faith. You know, that's what separates us from them. When you read about our forefathers, the main characteristics about all the righteous men, every single righteous man in the scriptures, all the time, that was always the point of them, their story being brought up. You know, even one of the shortest stories, like Samson. Even Samson had faith. He used faith to the last minute to do what he did. Did he not? That speaks about it even in Hebrews 11 chapter. My told God. You see? Because we couldn't get the law. Now we're here. Oh yeah, we gotta keep the law. So the law is you saying now you're criminal. Now you just made your burden impossible. I wanted to say harder, but no, it made it impossible. There's only one conqueror. One conqueror. Yeah, how was Sean, man?
Revelation 16, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments.
Now these men are teaching about just keeping the law. Hey, at the end of the day, what? It's about faith, man. For you to watch for the Lord, you have to have faith. That's how you know. That's why these men don't talk about the return of Yahweh. Because they're not thinking about that.
Revelation 16, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief.
Right?
Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments.
Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. It's such on that first part. It says, blessed is he that watcheth. That's how you know these other camps are not watching. They don't ever speak about the return of our Lord. What do they come out and do? They yell at the big woman, yell at Esau, and then yell at celebrities. Man, these celebrities are not worried about salvation, man. Why do you care about them?
But they want stuff so they can sensationalize. Brother shared a video. It was Wi-Fi something, but it basically said that some Edomites were urban. That was the title. It said some Edomites were urban. And the title, I was like, man, they should be arrested for that shit.
Stuff like that. It's like, bro, what's the point? So the word
Yeah.
here's the thing. They don't like seeing, oh, like, it's like a 24 views, 30 views. They don't like stuff like that. You know? For them, that's not good. Well, it's never about views, man. What happened to just being sincere and preaching the word of the Lord out of fear? That's why this John right here brought out that scripture, man. It's so like, you know? It's all about fearing Yahweh. Doing what he told you to
The
do.
base fare
He
is
said, go out and teach. He said, go out and get 1,000
for
views
this
a day.
time.
Go out and teach his word. Compel the people. That's what it's about, man. It's about preaching the word and sincerity and the truth all the time. All about.
Revelation 16 and 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed.
Because Yahweh Shai is going to come as a thief in the night to those that are not. Right? It's going to be an unexpected thief for these people. Continue.
Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments.
Yeah, blessed is he that watches and keepeth his garments. Now, is that literal garments? See, it's a representation of something spiritual. All right, because it says what? Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. That is a representation of keeping the scripture, keeping the words of the Lord on your mind. I mean, what do the scriptures say, man? The scriptures say in the book of St. John chapter 4 that the Most High is the Spirit, and they that worship Him must worship in the Spirit and in truth. The only way for you to do that is through the scripture. That's the only thing. These men, they read that, and then, oh, I got my garment for. I would say they would say something like that, where, oh, I got a garment for Jacob's trouble. But these guys don't even talk about Jacob's trouble. Do they even believe in Jacob's trouble?
I think it happened already.
Yeah. Oh man, what?
So stop it.
Right. Or a time as never was already happened and we missed it. What? You shitting me, man? Yeah, who gave these guys a Bible, man? They need their Bibles taken away. All jokes aside, they really.
Hey, the Lord gave it to you.
Yeah.
Go and tell the world.
Yep.
That's the lying spirits, you know?
Yep.
Sure. Hey, the deceiver and the deceiver is the scripture said. All right.
You gotta remember, before the house of David took over the house of Solomon, that whole Israel. So everybody believes in that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people ain't gonna leave that in these times. They're gonna stay with that.
We're talking about. I just remember. I don't know if it's a party was outside of that street club.
Oh yeah, that is it.
Yeah, outside of that. For what? Why are you teaching that?
You guys, they turn around and have the pastor. And then you see similar to them. They might not be bulls and women dancing, but they're bottle girls and dogs and fishnet. You got whores bringing you with ones on pallets and shit. You know what I'm saying? Do that shit in your own time, bro.
Yep.
You don't remember in the Bible. Do that shit around.
Terrible.
This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, said the Most High, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with a covering but not of my spirit.
Yeah, they cover with a covering that's not of the Spirit of the Lord. You see, at the end of the day, man, because of Israelites, they're really covering themselves with the Spirit of America. The Spirit of America is, I want to continue I want to keep moving forward. To this day, right now, there's places out there in Virginia who's building new shit. They're building condos, 500 grand for a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom condo. That's the spirit of America. You know, expansion. That's why they don't talk about it.
I was thinking about the put on their code. You know, and it makes me think of masonry, how they make them dress up and all that crap, you know what I'm saying? They can wear particular things to pledge their allegiance, you know, stand up and take a picture. The same thing with Jacob, you know? How they made Israelites put on you talking about a hat, put on a hat. You're willingly participating in the Hellenization of our people and furthering. You think universal doctrine, everybody can be saved. And next thing they're going to be teaching is Mary was an actual virgin. You won't be surprised. I mean, IUIC is literally teaching heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Which is just beyond me, you know? Because they weren't, if I'm not mistaken, they weren't teaching heaven and hell when YouTube first started. I don't remember that.
Nope, they weren't.
I don't remember that. I think it was only like GOCC that was teaching that shit.
Kanzaquan. I think they started about 3 years ago teaching that crap.
Yeah.
They came down and said, nah, nigga, we're taking away some tickets if you hey, can we grab that? I made a lesson on this. I made a lesson speaking on these things. And their actions. Yeah, 23.
Isaiah 1 and 23. Thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves.
Now, real quick, let's read it slowly so we can look at it. So it says that princes are rebellious. At the end of the day, Sodom and Paul are still princes of Israel. Yeah, it's true. All these wicked Israelites are princes. They're all, because in the kingdom they're going to be righteous. You know? At the end of the day, they're still Yasharot. But they're rebellious. That's why they're teaching that madness. It says what? That princes are rebellious, right? Rebellion is just a sin of witchcraft. That's rebellion. They teach that's witchcraft, man. Saying, oh, anybody can make it. Always hopping on rock. Why are they always debating with somebody? They always talking to somebody. They don't believe in none of this. And trying to convince them of what they like, bro, what are you doing? It's like right now you're talking to a brick wall. This man does not, he didn't come on your show to listen to none of what you're saying. He got on there to listen to respond.
People are just creating, that's a check for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're on a payroll when they do that shit. That's their livelihood.
Yeah.
That's why it's commercials, all of that shit. Ain't no commercials on our video. Somebody wrote a comment. Yeah, somebody wrote a comment asking, hey, why are there commercials on your videos? I had to go look like, what the fuck you saw to my shit?
Yeah.
I'm like, why the hell? But it's because the audio that I was using, whoever owns the copyrights to it, they allowed me to use it. So that's why the commercials added on to it. And just so it added chapters, you know, it had a caption. But now, it doesn't matter what you upload. Now you can hit summarize AI button. There's a button on there. You can use AI to summarize any video. I'm talking about any video current that's on the internet, on YouTube. All of our videos. You hit summarize AI, you can use synopsis of the video, timestamps and everything for everything. I'm talking about a video that you just uploaded. Because I tested it. I was like, let me see if this shit is wrong. Bro, as soon as my career ended, I hit something. All right there. They saw us weaponizing this shit. Because what it's going to do is, people are not going to be watching videos, they're just going to be getting summary. So whatever he puts in there, the typography, or, you know, the people, AI behind it, whatever he wants to say, and make it look like you said it. Now you got to witness it.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's also part because, you know, these Israelites, they might try and use that to critique further their doctrine. You know? Look how chat talks. He was like that at first. Or chat responds, I should say. Chat doesn't talk.
Yeah. Isaiah 1:23. Thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves.
When you're going to Penny, there's somebody who break bread with. They break bread with the thief. Who's the main thief? Esau Edom. they break bread with the murderer, the thief, the same people that put us in captivity is the person that they don't mind working with. I mean, how you going to be, how you going to be, like, hey, how are you going to come to the knowledge of truth and still love your enemy? I mean, shit. I'll never forget when I found out I was an Israelite. For one, I always hated Esau. I just didn't know I hated Esau himself. I didn't know who Esau was. I never liked these pale faces. You know, these niggas took the land, you know, took parts of Mexico, you know, I don't even see God out here. You know what I mean? That was since I was young. I never liked you. You know, then I came into the knowledge. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm justified. This is okay. Man, I had a ball, man. I was happy as hell. And then these niggas want to hold hands with them and work with them like that? Because at the end of the day, we all slaves. But these dudes is straight up doing their wicked wills, man. By stumbling our people. See, there's a difference. They're putting stumbling blocks in front of our people for the enemy. Yeah, that's a whole nother level of wickedness. You know? That's a whole nother level of sellout, coonery, buffoonery, man. It's disgusting. I hate people like that. Like, yo, we're already downtrodden. You gonna make it worse? You gonna join Esau and make it worse, man? That's why those men are gonna receive terrible judgment. You know? May the streets be paved with their blood. For real. That's wicked as hell.
This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. She obeyed not the voice, she received not correction.
Yeah, that's not talking about Babylon, that's talking about us. These prophets, a lot of these prophets prophesied against us first and foremost. Then you can go,
She trusted not in the Most High.
right, but again, Babylon is not trusting in the Most High. So it has to be talking about us.
She drew not near to her power. Her princes within her are roaring lions. Her judges are even in wolves. They gnaw not the bones till the morrow. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law. This is verse 4, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 4.
You see that, because I was listening to the Maccabees on the way down here. You see that with Jason, Menelaus, and all those other people on the Maccabees. That's what they literally did. You know, the Hellenization was gradual, and then it ramped up with Antiochus. But Alexander, he founded all these cities, and Ptolemy took over. He had Egypt and took over Jerusalem. So it was a process. But our people, once our people who were in authority back then converted, it ramped up because now they have power to control trade, the education with our people, everything that was governed over us in society. They started pushing everywhere. That's bullshit, you know? Combining our laws with their laws, and then eventually the Sabbath was taken away. You couldn't circumcise. Read that again.
Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 4. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law.
Yeah, nobody, we don't talk about it anymore. But, hey, technically Zabak committed adultery back in the day. You know? That just got swept under the rug. Oh, he's a great leader. You know? Don't worry about that. But that dude, Mahar, whatever his name is, dark dude with dread, he's big. Part of folk. He committed adultery. You know? Oh, the dick pics in the IUIC during class. Yeah. Edification's going on. You in the bathroom committing adultery. Your house child said if you even think you're guilty. Nigga, you went and took a selfie. Well, he sent that manscape to that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do over there.
Yeah, and then they talk about it in front of a whole congregation and they're laughing about it. Like, it's funny.
Right.
That's not right. You're supposed to get deaf, man. That's treacherous. Now, again, these are supposed to be men that are supposed to be warning you about the main topic, the MOTB. What's going on this week with technocracy? You know, everything's rapid. AI is taking people's jobs like overnight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's happening so fast. You when they're prepping, man, 2026 will be a hell of a year.
I can't say
You
recently.
said it in the apostasy one?
Nah, I was a different.
No, I'm saying he did say it.
He had a short video. He got lost because he didn't know the same road. Then he had mentioned like in a roundabout way there is like a sign on the MOTV right now. If they want to accomplish about 2030. That's only 4 years ago. You know, you really want to implement your own physical ID thing. That hey,
Yeah.
4 years ago. 4 years ago. That's a quick toll. Very quick. You know? And people are overlooking the big things that are happening that are way bigger than the bullshit and drama they want to talk about.
Yeah, everything Trump promised during his campaign is doing the complete opposite. You know? He's basically doing what prophecy's telling you.
Yeah.
You got the Egyptians going in. The Egyptians have to go against the Egyptians. You know, nation against nation. This is a nation within nation. He doesn't like California. You know? You recently heard him talk about how California, when he came to office, they were ready to leave. Then they got 15 states on board with them. You know? So he's fulfilling prophecy. It don't matter what the hell he said on his campaign, you know what I'm saying? He's got the backing of the people over there in the east.
Yep.
That's why he flies off the head and just says whatever he wants.
God.
Right now, amongst the Edomite community, there's a big divide because you have the Edomites that call themselves redneck that are, I don't want to say the real ones, but in a way the real ones because they know, oh, I'm not a billionaire. No, I'm not listening to all that. I get all of them, stuff like that. Then you have the other half, billionaire assholes, and they're like, yeah, we want ISIS. No freedom, basically. So there's a huge divide between Esau and it's a serious divide too. One thing about Esau is he doesn't draw the sword and bait. And he's not like these dudes. Oh, I'm gonna bring my gun. No, Esau's gonna bring it and use that shit. He's coming there to die on that hill. So these two, you got the Edomites that are regular Edomites that are all about kissing the billionaires and the lobbyists' ass, and then you got the other half, which is a lot of them be Jake. For the most part, they're Edomites, right? That are in the mindset of like, yo, I'm poor, I'm getting taxed to no end, I'm ready to die. Like they're ready to die on that hill, man. So there's a big divide in Isaiah 19, man. You got that?
Get it?
Yeah, big grab real quick. Cause that's a real. I'm gonna have to do a video on it, man, because I downloaded some of those clips from TikTok of these mountain boys talking about it. It's like, yo, these billionaires are gonna tax us to no end, and they're gonna take away all our rights, and they're gonna take away our guns. Because they're really gonna do that. They know these preppers, a lot of these preppers that are real preppers and not the agents, because a lot of them are agents, believe it or not. All those guys talk about, oh, you need to get level 4 plates.
Military, government, you know. Well, I got an inside source that told me this. That's because, nigga, you were the source.
Yep.
That's a big one, man. There's a lot of people, a lot of them dudes you see that, oh, there's this guy. Oh, one day I just got tired of living in the big city and I went and started to live off grid. And now I live off grid and I make my money off the land. And it's like, bro, you're clearly an agent. You are clearly funded. Because for one, you live in the middle of nowhere in an undisclosed location and you can afford 4K quality cameras. But you're living off the land. People live off the land without that kind of money. So.
Saying the other one is interior designer for like commercial buildings and shit. Leave the city to go to the or doctor leaves his profession to go to the, you know what I'm saying? Because these people in their mind are like, no, I can't do this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of even this one dude, he wound up getting into a bunch of drama. I mean, that's how I knew he wasn't an actual agent. The other they was trying to take him out, but they got rid of him and kept his channel. But basically, they called him Beaver's wife. He was one of those Edomites that was like teaching people how to survive, teaching you how to extend your tank size in your truck in case you need to, go off grid. And then out of the blue, he beat his wife. It's like, yo, that's so. They'll come to find out it's because he's one of the more ones that didn't want to be an agent for them, I guess, right? Can we get that when I say it? I don't want to just ramble on that bullshit.
It's Isaiah 19 verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
So the Egyptians, right? Now, is that talking about ancient Egypt? Of course not. It's already that. This is Isaiah. This is already the ancient Egypt already happened. We already got it. It's talking about the new Egypt, which is America. So the Lord said he would put a divide between the Egyptians and the Egyptians. Who are the new Egyptians? Go read Romans 9. That comparison between Pharaoh and Esau. Esau is the new Egyptian. All right?
Isaiah 19 and 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And they shall fight every one against his brother.
And that's literal. That's literal. There are Edomites right now. Bro, I be seeing... And brothers, remember when Antifa was big? You know, Antifa is technically not an actual thing. It's really just...
Hey, you see the interview with the FBI?
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious.
Nah, the whole...
He's like, you want to come in here and just say something and not have any proof with you. Edomite was like, yeah.
And you did.
And Edomite was like, hey, I'm white. What are you going to do? I'm a white guy. What are you going to do?
This song's fucking hilarious. There's some Edomites that just crack you up. I mean, still wrong. He might not be a chick. I don't know yet. Yeah, that motherfucker's hilarious. If he's an Edomite, that's one fucking hilarious Edomite.
So where is Antifa headquarters?
Hey, it says they shall fight against everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor. So these Edomites right now, there's a divide between because you have Edomites that live out there that have benefited off of the billionaires, they work for them, and they just happen to move to Wyoming or something. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that are like, yeah, Donald Trump. You know? Dumbass people. And then you got the other half that's poor that's like, nah, hold up, man, because I don't really benefit off of y'all winning. You know what I mean? Hey, all the old school Edomites know, man, the Democratic vote is a vote for the average Joe. You know you're gonna get the benefits. You know? You're gonna get a tax break as an average man. See the other side, what are they doing? Giving tax cuts to the billionaires, not benefiting the regular people, the average Joe. That caused a divide between Esau. Because not every single Edomite is benefiting. See, that's the thing. Esau didn't take his whole family with him when they went to the top. They left a few at the bottom. Those are the ones that's like, nah, all right, this is what y'all want.
Edomites are like, damn, yeah. Even when they've been to it, they said when they cops like, they blaming the niggas, this shit is fucking me.
Hey, but that's the propaganda they got from us too. They blaming it on Jake. It's like, it got nothing to do with why you poor, man. You got a 400-year head start, you loser.
Yeah, don't forget too though, this is also, it's not just Esau.
That's true.
Because everybody in America, they're all known as Egyptians. That includes even precept to specifically refer to Esau, Edom, because of course they're considerably divided. But Egyptian against the Egyptian refers to American against American in general, and that includes all these nations up in here, especially Jake. And I say that because as an example, I was scrolling, of course, and I came across a video, and it was I'm pretty sure it was in Chicago. They was doing another one of those immigration raids. And it was bad. I mean, it was real bad. Yeah, you had little kids getting off the bus, and they was throwing tear gas. Everybody was just getting lit up. And one of the dudes, he was on his bed. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was two videos. That was one, but there was another one. It was a lady, and she was coming from getting her child from a bus, and she's all of a sudden just running. She's running. She's like, "Get away from me!" And then the two, officers, they're chick officers, whatever they are, they're chasing her. Yeah, basically with masks on, you know, no ID. And then I guess the husband maybe comes outside and he's like, "Yo, get up my property, what is this, blah, blah, blah." And he looks at the guy's mask and he's like, "He's Hispanic." He was Hispanic. He's like, Hispanic against Hispanic. That's what he was saying. Like, yo, what's going on? You know, so you got Egyptian against Egyptian on all sides. You know, but
It's going to manifest on an even greater scale. It don't matter what your race is. Esau, and over here, whoever else.
In that same video, it's crazy. It stopped as soon as it got to the property.
Stop.
All stopped. And that was real people, real authorities backed by somebody. Probably just ran onto the property and took it.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
a warrant. You know, we can run up on it.
Get that.
But now, what people are doing though, it's not being talked about. I see like maybe one video where people are walking around, men obviously with masks on, acting like they're ICE, and they're kidnapping women.
Yeah.
But that's not being talked about. But that's under this man's regime. That's what he allowed.
There was that one dude who pulled over for one of them. When he noticed it was ICE, he laughed, put his window up, and took off in his truck. His wife was recording. He was laughing at him, and he stopped again so he could come up to the window and took off again. So people are playing. Listen, this is divine.
Bro, can you imagine God, you know, you see all this and you don't have the knowledge of bro, what is now in your head, you're like, bro, I need to do something. I got guard up, I gotta get weapons. You know, luckily we're like, all right, we know as long as we keep praying, we keep repenting, you know, you anoint. I just started doing that and you know, my rib and everything I see every week now. You gotta do that because it brings you comfort and you know you're doing something spiritually for them. Now the Lord sees your sacrifice, and now when they're off to work, school, your mind can be at ease. Like, all right, I know I'm good. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. My family, everybody, we're going to be taken care of. The world doesn't have that comfort.
Nope.
That's why the scriptures say, then shall they be in pitiful case, which have what? Rolled at my law. They said, oh, we never didn't regard me. Yeah, I was about to say.
It's Isaiah 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor.
And it made the specification of brother and neighbor, man. Basically, within America is going to be, I mean, it's already a huge thing of turmoil going on. The thing is, though, here, it's not like how it is out in the Southwest. See, it's heavy in the Southwest states like New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, and things like that. You know, I heard they get popped out of Texas. I heard Jake shoot the shit out of ICE in Texas, man. But nonetheless, though, once it touches up here and in different parts of America, man, you're gonna see it, you know.
Shit is still on high alert because you just got popped. Down there by the Capitol shoot.
Yeah.
So it's still on very high alert. Got the terrorist DEFCON, alert level. It's still intense for them.
That's right.
It says, and says, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
Hey, that's heavy, man. A lot of people forget how vast America is. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it earlier, the state of Texas alone. I always like to tell people, like, oh, is it really that big? Oh, you gotta think about it. From here to New York City feels like forever. Bro, from here to New York City is more distance between Houston and Dallas.
Yeah.
That's in the same state. You gotta put that into perspective. See, over here we're so used, because it's not until you move further south, you know, I grew up a little further south in Virginia. I was like, yo, once I moved up here, I'm like, yo, everything's close as hell, man. Down south, everything 10, 20 miles plus off.
Yeah, you got a mile, and then you got what you call a country mile.
Yeah. That's right.
And I was going to say, driving across Texas horizontally, 14 hours.
Yeah.
14 hours.
In the same state.
Yep.
I had to make that drive.
Yeah.
Once you get into Richmond, further down south, North Carolina, you see them on the map, and you're like, oh, this city right there is like 2 centimeters away. And it's like, oh, that's probably like over 100 miles. That's like 200. Oh man. He's driving for hours and then you finally see that one sign and you're like, man, I remember one time I was going from here down to Fredericksburg. I was up here for a long ass time. I go down there and I'm like, damn, I'm thinking I'm about to be there. This place is 40 miles away. I'm like, shit, I'm working. See, but it's like,
Verse 3.
yeah, because it said Salakia. It said city against city, kingdom against kingdom. So that division, man, is huge. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yep, verse 3, Isaiah 19 and 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof.
Yeah, so the spirit of Egypt is going to fail. At the end of the day, these people are going to be not going to be proud to be Americans. Hey, you're going to have to divide. There's Israelites right now. There's Edomites right now that are banding together. They think there's going to be a second revolutionary war. And in a way there is, but the difference is there ain't going to be no, is the North going to win or the South going to win? No, ain't going to be none of that. Y'all all going to die. Yeah, 1776 spirit. All that's just going to die out. There's a Jake I know right now on TikTok. He's showing AI photos of like his wife with a rifle with the American flag. And it says, a photo of your great grandma when she fought in the Second Revolutionary War. Nigga, your kids ain't gonna see that shit, bro. You're gonna be in the kingdom, all right, saying Shalom, man. Ain't gonna be none of that American bullshit, man. Ain't no red hot American Knights no more, nigga. You know, ain't no more of that shit. Ain't no more Hellcats in the kingdom. Ain't no more GM, none of that shit, man. Ain't gonna be no Star Spangled Banner. It's gonna be a lick of fire.
Bring more jobs now. Everything to be here. And instead, the audience like taking credit. To the military and taking your job. He said that he would make this the AI. And that, you're gonna make sure you have the best people in place. So you got the best chips, hardware, infrastructure in place. That's why you see these data centers going up in these different regions. Everybody was 5G when the video happened.
Yeah.
This is even worse.
It is the hub. I think 90% of the internet goes to Northern Virginia. He was saying.
DC makes sense. Pentagon.
90%.
Hey, that's where they send their kids to school at. These people, that's where they have interest. You know what? They're running out of space. The people are protesting because of how much they gotta be stopped right next to this. They gotta give you like literally, they start there. They build the power, build the data center and all that stuff. Hire all the data
Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, standing for the children of thy people. There shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
Yeah, that's what we should be focusing on.
I was going to ask you.
Divine intervention.
I want to get more practice in speaking.
And why we're going to need it. This man's about to try and put it.
Because a lot of the time I try to feel like wait till you're ready, things like that too. You're never going to be ready, bro. Just speak.
Yeah, absolutely not. No,
A lot of it.
or the ones that I know that might believe. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep, just like the other groups, they love to stay on their topics. They get upset with us because we stand on the shit that is wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's very wrong.
Daniel 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, that standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation.
Yeah, trouble on all sides. The Lord talks about your children are making the praise on all sides. You know, and that's the adversaries, that's the economy. That's also food chain breaking down. You know, people bringing the prophecy of the family. You know, there should be protests because Bill Gates owns almost the majority of Hollywood. And you can't tell if something that's what it's who want to constantly live in a state like this? IUIC, buying land.
This is 2 Ezra 13, verse 37. And this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are falling into the tempest.
And that's what's going on for the wicked life, because it's falling in the same steps as the ancient empires did. They're falling on the same spirits, you know? Yeah, the same way they trade and manipulate money, all right? And what you see, the different communities that they believe in, all that shit's going on right now, man. This is all a facade. It's just a matter of time where the Lord does something, allows something to happen. Because Esau's not moving and doing things outside the Lord's realm. All right, when they wrote that, the dogma, what did I think? The dogma that was written a long time ago, the Albert Christ.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord allowed that stuff to happen. You know, those letters, the effects of all this stuff, that's why the Lord says, I'm going to overturn your captivity. It's not something that we're going to come together and do by ourselves. That's why those Jakes and Demona, you witnessed the missiles getting dropped on your ass.
Right.
Trying to skip prophecy, all them Ben Israels. You got a lot of Ben Israels and IUIC that went changed their name. Go ahead, bro.
And shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame.
Yeah, Americans deserve to be tormented. You deserve to have all your rights restricted, your food taken away from you. Yeah, you deserve the stuff that's coming. Remember what was done to this land? Remember the Gadite bones, this burial grounds, we might be standing on it, don't even know it. Yeah. Who knows what the hell happened right here 800 years ago? You know what I'm saying? 600, 700 years ago. Oh, some crazy shit that wasn't recorded. Which also, that's why Gad got to get fucked up. When you read in Zephaniah in the 3rd chapter, you took part of that too. All the animal sacrifices, eating up and worship crabs, and worshiping the totem pole, all that wild shit, using medicine for the wrong purposes, worshiping herbs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Gad is all into that stuff. The Lord, this place has a lot.
Before I came up here, I was actually looking up some stuff about the reservations on YouTube, right? And when you look at Gad, man, the Gadites that live on the reservation, they're going through hell. They don't have lawmen to protect them, but they have lawmen to harass them. So basically, there's law enforcement in the reservation that don't actually play in their benefit. And there's some that does, but for the most part, they're getting jacked. For the most part, they're getting killed and no one knows. You know, people that get drunk, right? The sheriff knocks their head off. He's getting caught. There's nobody around 300 miles away. You know what I mean? And even if there was, it's not like no one cares what he did. That's why you get jacked up. So Mark 39 and 1. And he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, occupied prophecies.
Right, the wisdom of the ancient. This time right now that we're in, our forefathers told us to look this and this, and prep your mind and talk about it all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's why Ezra said, woe is me, what am I going to do in those days? He didn't say, thank God I'm not going to be there. Feel bad for my descendants. You know what I'm saying? That's how we know reincarnation is real. I'm pretty sure he understands the prophecy of Michael's kingdom. Because he saw your house shine come with his chariot.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm going to back you up. So 2 Ezra 2, verse 34. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest.
Yeah, that's Israelite corner. Right? It said heathen, right?
Fine.
Yeah, heathen. There's no way heathen can look for rest. You know what I'm saying? saying? Because remember, they don't have a temple. If we go back to the actual scriptures, where did they go to say, okay, Lord, protect them? Something wasn't established in Elam and Basra and all these other nations. So that would mean the Lord would have to look at us like heathens. You hurt my people. I give you up for adoption, right? That's what that's talking about. Go ahead.
For he is nigh at hand, that shall come in the end of the world.
Hey, the Lord is hovering over the earth. He says, every eye shall see him. At any point in time, the Lord will reveal himself. You know, a lot of people would die of cardiac arrest. You know, they wouldn't know if it's Project Blue Beam and the nation is trying to figure out what's going on. They just be furious. If the Lord can destroy Esau's armies up in there just by thinking it, imagine what people are doing when they actually see his presence and feel it. You know? Yeah, that's cardiac arrest. Heart, yeah. Your blood doesn't get enough blood doesn't get to your brain, it's not pumping through your heart. Ain't no cayenne pills gonna save people then. Right. You know, all these people off grid doing their thing. When the Lord shows up, you're not gonna give a damn about what you got. Yeah, you're gonna say whatever, because people are gonna be looking like, please don't destroy me. We're gonna be looking like, please let me get up there if we're still around during that time. You know, because this is the climax. This is the part of the movie where it's like, all right, adjust your seat. This is what we've been waiting for.
Also, people keep trying to save Esau, Edom. Yahweh Shai is coming at the end of the world. Second Ezra says Esau is the end of the world. So how can he get salvation? That means this man is finished. He's done.
Yeah, it's the end of this age, man. Yahweh Shai said, this will be the end of the age. The end of your Lord is not going to be remember that the big can't be. It didn't mean that the Lord can't destroy the entire earth. That's nonsense. The temple's got to be established. Hey, well, at evening we got Hanukkah coming up, which means rededication of the temple. Which is symbolic, you know, because Yahweh Shai is the head of the temple, the head of the church, you know. Our bodies are like temples themselves. Hanukkah is it's in the winter time when things are mostly cold and dead. Yeah. So Yahweh Shai kind of represents like a light or a warmth, you know, in the midst of like darkness and cold and all that. Yeah, it's all symbolic. It's not all heavy straight now.
That's the spirit. That's the next scripture.
Go ahead, let's get it.
This is 2 Ezra 2 and 35.
Let's get that.
Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore.
That's Yahweh Shai. They tried to keep the light dim. They didn't think it was going to peek through. A tiny light was peeking through. It's not like Yahweh Shai just wasn't watching the whole time. He saw us getting hung, attacked by bees, chased by hyenas. You know what I'm saying? Tossed into the ocean in a box of air, but who knows what's inside there. He saw the hot boxes in the roots and all that stuff. So the light was there.
That's right.
If the Lord didn't open up our minds to this, we weren't exposed to it.
This is John 10, right?
Read it one more time.
God. This is 2 Ezra 2, verse 35. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light.
Trying to be ready to the reward of the kingdom. The kingdom is not going to come on this side, like into Babylon. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom starts from within. The things that we do. We can't establish. The kingdom can't be established if you're not watching for the enemy. Because the enemy, he sees us trying to establish a kingdom like the Israelites make you think. He's going to come and attack. So we got to keep on fighting. That's why the Lord said, he that endures to the end shall be saved. I mean, you're going to see the salvation. You're going to see the righteousness of Yahweh Shai. So that's what it's all about. You get little faith boosters. You know? The scriptures talk about New Jerusalem. We don't hear these other camps talk about the elect, New Jerusalem. Instead, what are they focusing on? The law, the law, the law. If God is not going to love you, you can't be accepted if you don't keep the law. It's like, nigga, are you growing all your produce? Where the hell you do? Yeah, nigga living on the 8th floor of some building talking about keeping all the laws. You know what I'm saying?
Breaking the law.
Probably working at a company that breaks the laws on every single level. Nigga, shut up, man, and deliver my meal. What the hell you do for a living? You know what I'm saying? Shit, it's you law. You're supposed to be occupied and prophecy, and it's forcing shit down your throat. It's like, nigga, you're not doing it. You're not your house shop. You know? The law, the law, the law, the color of the Lord, the color of the Lord. It's like, nigga, you got a scrape on your face. You got blemishes. None of us are perfect. You know what I'm saying? They don't have you think that you gotta be perfect. But they're MIA. All these guys are MIA.
Yeah.
And John 10, when you read further, it says, the sheep will not follow a hireling. These guys are just hired, paid servants.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they at? It's getting colder out here. That's why when you go look at IUIC Washington DC or ISUPK Washington DC, their street videos, their most recent ones, look in the comments. There's people blasting them. Hey, where you at? Y'all are gonna come back out here? It's winter time. Y'all got t-shirts on. Yeah, Yak Pop Jackson going crazy, bro. Yeah, Yak Pop all in that thing, bro.
Last time I seen IUIC out here, it was years ago. I'll probably say like 3 or 4 years ago.
We go to IUIC Washington DC's page.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. This is
sense.
motive, and you got t-shirts. We don't take breaks in the wintertime. This devil doesn't take breaks. He's taxing us, right? Yeah, so we're gonna tax you with the truth. Yeah. And click on videos at the top there. Just click on that. And then click on that. Look at that. T-shirts on. See that?
No, it's
Yeah, they in Silver Spring with t-shirts on.
Wow.
What's the comment section say? What's the comment? Click on it. Oh,
He turned it off. They gonna try to Yak
They turned the comments off on there.
Hey, click on the next video.
They said, all right, Mr. Jackson. Comment on this one.
Yeah, Yak Pop was doing too much.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah.
That's the second video there. No comments turned on.
God damn. Do you go to their shorts? Let's go to one of their shorts.
Did that say 8 days ago?
Yeah. 8 days.
uploaded 8 days ago.
Yeah, looking like you about to go to the beach.
8 days ago. It's bright as shit outside.
They kept that video for later.
No comments turned on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's one of their shorts.
I lit that shit up this week, bro. I don't give a fuck. As soon as them comments open up, right.
That's crazy.
Oh,
How you want to put on the comments? That's
Right.
John 10:12. He that is tired, not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not.
yeah, hired servant. You're on payroll, man. Don't you when you go to work, you gotta wear a uniform? They all uniformed up. Fresh cut? Yeah, they are incorporated. They probably have lawyers and everything. If something happens with them, they have lawyers. With us, we gotta come together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We gotta chip in.
Religious lawyer on thing.
Yeah, if something happens, you talk to IUIC and the they're gonna mediate everything. Well, you know what I'm saying?
My attorney. John 10:12. And he that is an hireling, and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not.
That's crazy though, because when you remove comments like that, other people they don't want people to see that question. Oh damn, they want to know. People are trying to figure out where we are. No, it's gonna be found out. But you have to go to the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, to push the truth. Israelites united in Esau. Go ahead.
He's not wanting to bring out John 10:12. Why do you have the comments on? Aren't you supposed to be there to feed the sheep?
That's gonna be my next video. Hashtag IUIC Washington DC. Why are you commenting? You might do an IUIC blitz.
Yeah. The whole camp, one IUIC blitz video. No. Hey, all jokes aside, man. Why?
Yeah, I might.
How are your sheep supposed to?
Come on, Chris, y'all like
How are your followers?
answer your question. Who's left? You know, that's what I'm saying. The scripture said to come out here and seek the man and seek judgment so he can pardon you. So you basically like, you know what, Israel, the hell with your salvation. Then you got some Israelites saying, oh, heathens can be delivered. So no answers, MIA, and heathens can get delivered. See what the Lord has available on the left-hand side for our people? There's so many ways to fall out.
That's right.
It's scary. Go ahead, bro. I know you got one.
See, the Spirit brought me here. This is because they're not even going out. The leaders at IUIC, they stopped going out. The top leaders. This is 1 Timothy 1, verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity out of a pure heart and of a good conscience and of faith unfeigned.
Yeah, pure heart is saying, you know what, let me just go out there and see what happens. See if Esau shuts me down without going out there to speak. Without a mic and a damn speaker, man. Or you don't need a mic and a speaker. A lot of you Israelites just spook. Alright? Spook. You think you're being gang stalked, you think it's all about you. Constantly move in, man, you know? All his agents following me, this is why I don't come to the city. The Esau sending people to take up all the parking spots, he's raising the meter prices. You basically gotta pay to do the work. So fucking what, man? Don't you gotta get gas?
Get gas for work?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't you gotta pay for parking? Don't you gotta pay for parking if you have a job or something or somewhere? You gotta go to the court, you gotta pay the meter? Yeah, but hey, I'm talking about Isaiah and Yasharon. Every once in a while I go on their pages. Y'all in front of some CBS. A guy comes up with a Bible to ask him a question. You screaming at him. Why won't you answer the question? Now he's an agent. Now he's sentenced. Like, dog, not everybody, that's another thing. Not everybody's a fucking agent, man. Right. Some people are just bugged out. Jake is spooked and scared.
Yeah.
Bro, nobody's following you. I'm being gangster. They all are. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? That's why I brought the names up. At this point, I don't care, man. We're gonna let it fly. If you're not at the same place at the same time, all the time, how can people find you? You're inconsistent. The Lord is not messing with inconsistency.
Pop-up shop.
You know what I'm saying? If I see you on T and 7, and I'm afraid as hell of Yahweh Shai, I'm gonna come back looking for you. If you're gone behind a warehouse, wherever the hell you are, how are you supposed to get found? Why? Because you believe everybody's a goddamn agent. You know what I'm saying? Or they're purposely sending cars to fill up. Yes, Esau hired 300 people to fill up all the parking spots on Georgia Ave for you. No, you're not that important. Oh, they say Trump won't pass the camp. Guys with wires in their ears are following them. I always bring this up. Remember when Chief Ephraim went down there to the memorial, fucking with the Edomite kids? Yeah. The camp, the following camp after that, I left. Homeland Security followed me from G and 9th Street all the way, I'm not going to say where, but they followed me onto the Beltway and then a little bit after that. I said, God damn, these niggas really trying to get me up. It didn't stop me from coming out the next week, though. I wasn't in there, oh shit, let me put my hazards on and get over. You scary ass Israelites need to be destroyed, man.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Alright? There's a lot of you preaching the truth, but you don't have sincerity. I can smell insincerity at this point in the truth, man. Yep. I can tell when a guy is insincere. It's like, nah, nigga, you're faking the funk, man. Something ain't right. And that goes for you, Yashamar and Azariah. Alright, if y'all do happen to catch this video, y'all need to stay in one place and do some videos outside of Saturday. That's another thing. We're not Saturday Israelites, man. What we believe, we preach and proclaim throughout the week. As long as the internet works, man, we're going to do our virtual lessons. Because you know his tendency, Isaiah's tendency, you correct him, man. He's like a little ass kid. He does right for a little while. He did a couple of videos, sit-down videos, then it stopped. They were consistent in one location over there, the CVS, up from our 14th and K, you know, we're at the circle. for a few. Then I go back and look. It's like, damn, now you're here, now you're there, now you're there. Lord ain't messing with that, man. You don't have to look. I'm not looking for you to come in here and repent to me or nothing. Just be consistent. You know? And talk about something other than the angels and spiritual power all the goddamn time, man. You can't say that you worship angels, but it's borderline worshiping angels, man. Everybody's an angel, bro. Everybody they encounter. Oh, she had to be an angel. He was an angel. Oh, they love coming in the form of derelicts. I'm like, dog. Focus on the ministry a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to back you up.
Go ahead, bro.
This is 1 Timothy 1 and 6. Exactly what he's going into, that vain jangling, is empty or vain talk. 1 Timothy 1 and 6. From which some, having swerved, have turned aside unto vain jangling.
Yeah, look that up.
Fine. You look up vain jangling from the Greek.
Which if the Lord desires for them to be the elect to be delivered, good. But what I'm speaking is truth.
From the
We're
Greek.
all not in the right spirit, man.
No.
Straight up, man. Yeah. And I don't care who it is. You can call out names of everything. All right? Just like a Professor X.
So the brothers in the spirit, from the Greek, it's random talk or vain talking, empty talk, metologica or metolihia.
It was vain talk, bro. You brothers can see the video. You can watch any one of their videos for these 20 to 30 minutes. The angels are going to come up. Whether they talk about the angels in the streets, it's fine. But then it's like everybody they encounter is a damn angel.
It's a spirit they got on them.
It's like, yo, are you looking around for angels?
Metalogia or vain talking, empty talk. So they're not edifying.
Which they might still be upset because we believe that the Lord probably did that because he didn't give the glory to Yahweh Shema Shai. I don't know if they believe that or not. You know? But they in the same spirit. Because he doesn't know the guy who really did videos like that. Neither were they. You know? And they still not doing videos. That's what I'm saying. You're not tapped in. At least do one a week. Oh, another thing is, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm gonna keep on saying it. I don't know if y'all gonna see this or not. This is just for edification. You should have your own personal page. None of them have personal pages. You know what I'm saying? It's just camp videos. That's it. You don't see nothing else. You don't know who they are. They just show up. No sit down. There's like a couple, but that's because we told them this. You know? And you can tell that they're forced. And then in the sit-downs, of course, he's throwing shots at us. I'm like, that's cool, you know? Just edify, dog. At the end of the day, like the brother that came up to the other Manasseh Zakba in South Carolina, they used to call him Scarface in the main camp. He repented. It's like, yo, that's what's up. Now just do the work. That's all we care about. That's it right there. Just do the work. In sincerity. You know? You gotta get,
This is 1 Timothy 1 and 6. From which some, having swerved, have turned aside unto vain jangling.
Yeah, they swerve big time, you know? They swerve big time. That's the thing. Anytime orders are established, you see where men's spirits really lie. When you apply pressure and judgment, hey, this is how things are supposed to go, all right, let's see how he's going to react. Remember the whole thing with the goatee? This guy was purposely shaving his beard to look like a goatee. In sincerity and kind of joking and sincere, I was like, yo, you look like a nigga in the world. He got so upset. But no, he looked like a nigga in the world. I'm like, what's the difference between you? Because I know you shit don't grow up like that. Bro, Yashimar got the shot. If he let it grow, but he's still not letting it grow. I can tell. She's getting shake-ups and everything. I can't confirm, but because you know the way that he lives, you already know, bro. The elder knows. He's one of those cats who like, I'm not getting a job. I'm gonna keep on hustling, selling DVDs, and so he, So at that point, it's like, yo, what do you get shake-ups for if that's your job?
You know, we found one of the things about these guys that's not sincere, they push the law to get a one-up over you. So they're trying to exalt themselves. I keep the law perfectly. You know, it's unbelievable. You can tell they're not sincere.
Oh, well, these guys, they speak like the angels are going to come destroy us. Elders are more witness. We was on the phone with these guys, and they're talking like, you don't know what you're doing. All this other crap. You got your heart and desire. Borderline angel worship. I'm going to keep on saying it, man. Because you don't see the elders and apostles and anybody else in Great Millstone talking about every single encounter they have with people. Damn near 1 out of 5 people is an angel. That's too much, bro. Still out, man.
Ecclesiastes 7:16. Be not righteous over much, neither make ourselves over wise.
Right, like the Lord says, never mind many affairs. That also goes for these other groups. They spirit they all right. The main law y'all keep is going to Esau to get a permit to speak. But you telling us to keep the laws. That's bullshit. That's why, them comments, if the things open back up, you know, Israel's going to shoot them up.
This is 1 Timothy 1:7. Desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say nor whereof they affirm.
Yeah, some things just ain't what it is. You know, now if they want to believe what they use in their face, that's cool. It doesn't seem sincere. You know, the Lord gave us the spirit to protect other spirits. You can tell when somebody is sincere. You know? You can tell how big it is.
See something on the street. Come on, huh?
You gotta walk up. You gotta walk up. You gotta walk up.
You say,
You gotta walk up. It's 90 bucks right here.
That's being super over-righteous. You know?
You gotta walk up. I'm not walking back.
Just you, your whole energy is inconsistent, you know? Stay in one place. I equate that to IUIC not going out every day. In my mind, because again, when we talk to my witness, we said, well, if a brother wants to come listen to y'all, how will he know where y'all gonna be at? He was like, well, we'll let them know the location or something to them. He's on, what did he say again?
How?
We talked to Joshua and Azar. We said the brothers want to come find you. How will they know where you are? He was basically like, we'll just tell them where we're going to be at.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's not like they would do that because they think everybody's an agent. They're so scared. Everybody's an agent. We just go through the wedding process. Bro, if we were to make moves, every single one of you brothers would know exactly where we're going to be. You know what I'm saying? Maybe weeks ahead. You know? Because, hey, we here to guide the flock. You're going astray. I'm talking about physical, never from the doctor. I don't know why this is always thinking about this, but it is. You know, maybe because of 2026, so-called 2026. High levels of philosophy. Because, you know, they had I don't know if they still believe it or got it now. We had the whole debate over Isaiah 59 and 19, 20, the Lord's portion of Israel. Remember that? Yeah, they were going completely off on it. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 15, verse 7. Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
Right, so how do we know that? Who said that? That was you see? So you can tell when somebody's heart is far from the Lord. They're not really tapped in. We reached out to these guys just like we did any other affiliate doctors that are out there. That's all it is. Tap in together. I don't know what you want to do. Hey, cool. If not, go do your own thing. You know? But Just be consistent. Don't be outside of a CVS one week, then you're outside of a Sunoco, you know? Then you down on Minnesota Ave, then you with a guy named Silver Spring somewhere, you know? Yeah, it's confusion. We're not in those times. We're not in the time to be filled with like this, you know?
But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Ecclesiastes 7:16, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
Right, neither make thyself over wise, you know? Again, everybody you encounter, you're thinking, damn, is this an angel? Look, when I'm just walking through society, you're not thinking to yourself, oh, this gotta be an angel. Usually these thoughts come to you after the fact. If something spiritual is revealed to you, you're not going into it like, it is angels. And she was real humble. She had her head covered. You know, because they were basically going. They said they were telling some story how they encountered a woman, and they almost said that she was an angel, but then they had to bring it back and make it seem like, oh, we just treat people any good just because that's our nature, not because we thought it was an angel. They had to, because he was going too far. That's what I'm saying. Some Jake made himself so alive and destroyed himself. Next thing you know, you are worshiping him. They're literally one cough away from him. Yeah, they made a doctor. Well, option. They always teach on that. They always teach on the MOTV. But when you make entertaining angels unaware of the doctrine, it's too much.
I guess it's too late now, but next time, pick it up. So,
There's so much that came out of that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, a couple more.
Further back. A little further back.
Hebrews chapter 6, verse 9, but beloved, we are persuaded of better things of you, and things that accompany salvation. Hebrews 6:11 says, and we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence.
Right, show the same diligence, meaning the same characteristics. You're all working and doing something similar, you know? Because remember in high school, whenever you was on the team, everybody didn't make it across the line at the same time, or whatever the hell the coach was saying. You had to do it all over again. It's not like it's just like, okay, that's cool. No. Everybody has to be running at full speed, you know, or basically doing your best. Able-bodied, you can do so. It's about prioritizing this truth around your life.
Hebrews 6:11. We desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full appearance of hope unto the end.
This is Romans 14:5. One man esteemeth one day above another. Another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind.
Right, and when you're fully persuaded in your own mind, you're going to do whatever you can do to be consistent. I always like to do a recap. And I like to look back and see where were the inconsistencies. What can I do better? Because it's like the first time. to watch film, you know, go back. My form was a little off when I was getting tired. I need to focus more when I'm starting to feel real weak. You know? Things like that's how I can sleep. Like that last part of the workout or whatever. Let me focus on my breath. Let me be consistent. Brothers know when your form is consistent, it's better for your body. So you start losing your condition, great goals, all types of stuff that happens to you. Hey, so with that, we're going to punch our house to done and give all praise to our power.
Yahweh Bashim, Yahushai Bashim, Kakudash.
That's the name of the Heavenly Father, the name of the Son. May he come and destroy all 2/3 and continue to destroy Edom. Of course, double honors to our elders and apostles, and great millstones, the elders and bishops. And Shalom, Mark, rock, and peace and blessings. And to the household of faith. Shalom.
Shalom.